धन्यवाद। सबको मेरा नमस्कार। पूर्व लोकसभा सभापति श्रीमती सुमित्रा महाजन जी, डॉक्टर मीरा कुमार जी और संसद में मेरा साथी थे कम्युनिस्ट पार्टी का मार्क्सिस्ट का नेता श्रीमती बंदा करत जी और लोपसंग संगाई जी फ्रॉम टिबेट, श्री सीपी जोशी जी, श्री कुलतार सिंह संधवान जी, श्री गोयल जी, श्री अशोक गहलोत जी जिन्होंने वर्चुअली हम सब लोगों को संबोधित किया है, और श्री पृथ्वीराज चौहान जी, और देश भर से अलग अलग प्रदेशों से आए हुए प्रतिनिधि बंधु साथियों, I know that there are people who understand Hindi but who also understand English. So I will try to mix to the extent possible. I feel honored to be amidst you all on this momentous occasion. First of all, सबसे पहले मैं राहुल करात को ये ऐतिहासिक ऐसा एक सम्मेलन बुलाने के लिए मैं हमारा सबके ओर से उनको अभिनंदन करना चाहता हूँ। I would like to compliment Shri Rahul Karat for this courageous, innovative, constructive move to have this Conference of Legislators of India, bring them on one platform, discuss issues of larger concern of the people of the states and the country. It's a gigantic task, but I can tell you, he has done it with precision. And that was possible because he had a vision and the blessings of his father, Professor Viswanath Karaj. Friends, this is something unique. I can only describe it as unique, that this legislators' conference being held. I hope that it will become either annual event in different parts of the country. I don't want to touch other issues. I am not in party. I am not in politics. I have retired from all. I have retired but not tired. Still I am going around and meeting people, greeting people, talking with people, walking with the people, spending time with the people, eating with the people and sleeping with the people. That is my favorite pastime, sleeping in the village, sleeping in Tahsil. That's how I could come to this stage. Most of you are all youngsters. I have certain few points for you. Number one must have an aim and work hard. One must be disciplined. Discipline is the key for success. Be disciplined. Have time sense. 10 o'clock means 10 o'clock. Whether others come or not, you have to be there at 10 o'clock. You should be punctual. I remember when I entered assembly, my guru, late Naidu Viswanathan, told me, go to the session from the beginning to the end, sit there and hear others. You will gain knowledge. So I used to go at 8 o'clock and sit up to 1 o'clock in the house. That's how I gained the experience. Same is the case in Parliament also. I was member of Parliament. I was also Minister for Parliamentary Affairs and Minister for so many other departments before becoming Vice President. There also same thing. Going on time, hearing others, knowing things, that will make you really successful. My dear friends, working hard has no other alternative, because we have been given a task and there are so many challenges and problems before all of us. So we have to understand the problems of the people and work for their solution. Our founding fathers, who were visionary leaders of our freedom movement, were conscious of the fact that they were writing a corrective future of the nation on behalf of the people at large by drafting the visionary document which is our Constitution. Therefore, adhere to the ideas laid down by our constitutional framers. It should be our collective responsibility. This is my another advice. And remember that we are the largest democracy. And we are the most vibrant democracy. We should all work hard to see that this vibrancy is kept on. That is possible when all of us are committed to the ideals that have been enshrined in the Constitution. My dear sisters and brothers and youngsters, democracy provides us the foundation of our society. Needless to add, it is the cornerstone of our democratic way of life. So democracy, democracy, democracy should be our collective endeavor. We have traveled a long way. We are going to complete 75 years and we are going to celebrate Azadi Ka Amrit Kal. We have so many achievements to our credit, undoubtedly. India is now being recognized and respected worldwide. And India is now fifth largest economy. If we all work together, I am sure we will become third largest economy in the world and outnumber the so-called developed countries also. But we also have some challenges. I want to underline. 20% of our people are living in below poverty line. 20%. That means 1/5. Second challenge is that nearly 18% of the people are illiterates. They don't know how to write and read. The third challenge is that we don't have gender equity in public life. Vrindaji was mentioning about representation in parliament and legislature, even in every sphere of activity. They constitute 50% of the population. We must give them respect, we must give them recognition, and we must give them representation. This should be kept in our mind. This is another challenge. We also have other challenge in the society of social discrimination here and there. Basing on the basis of the caste, people are being denied the equal opportunity, discriminated. So these discriminations should end. That should be our endeavor, all of us. For that, the democracy to succeed I have 4 lines. 1, you must select and elect leaders with character, caliber, capacity and conduct. Leaders with character, caliber, capacity and conduct. 4 C's. But some of our very intelligent politicians, they have replaced these 4 C's by another 4 C's. Instead of character, caliber, capacity and conduct, caste, community, criminality and cash are being replaced in certain places. But we should not allow them to succeed. We should go on the basis of the character, caliber, capacity and conduct. And then coming to legislature, we call it as the temple of democracy. And these legislatures must be vibrant. For that, you people who are all members in different legislative assemblies and members of parliament belonging to different political parties, they should all adhere to discipline in the house, dedication, devotion. If you have all these 3 Ds, then democracy will succeed. We go to parliament, we don't allow the parliament to function, then democracy will not succeed. So my suggestion is debate, discuss and decide, but not disrupt. Sometimes it happens. I do have experience, both opposition and government side and also as the chair of the session. Sometimes it happens, but it should not be a regular feature. And then, after disruption, once the house resumes, you must discuss, decide. What is the way? People ask, sir, do you mean to say then there should not be any opposition? I say there should be opposition. There should be a strong opposition. There should be a viable opposition. But oppose. I have a 3-line advice. Let the government propose, let the opposition oppose, let the house dispose. That is my solution to this problem. सरकार को अपना जो भी करना चाहिए उसको सदन के सामने लाना, विपक्ष को विरोध करना है तो विरोध करना, फिर अंत में जो सदन का फाइनल फैसला है तो सबको हम लोग को स्वीकार करना पड़ेगा. There is no other way. There is no shortcut. So discuss, debate and decide, do not disrupt. Let the government propose, opposition oppose, and let the dispose. That is the way out, and every one of us should be committed to that. We have constitution, wonderful constitution. The executive, the legislature, and the judiciary, they have, the roles of all these have been defined. None of them should feel that they are the supreme and overstep their limits. This is happening at times. I don't want to name any particular organ. The legislature has its own importance. The executive has its own importance. And the judiciary has got its own importance. But at the same time, everybody's roles have been defined. They must adhere to that. Legislative power is solely given to the legislative bodies. Whether legislation is in accordance with the constitutional provision or not, let the courts go through it. But court cannot make a legislation. Judiciary cannot make a legislation. This has to be remembered in mind. The legislature decides and the executive implements. And finally, if anybody violates the provisions, one can go to court and judiciary must be dynamic and they must dispose of at the earliest. And then about anti-defection. Now people are saying if you defect singularly, then you are disqualified. If you defect in a group, this is not defection, it's only affection, and they are doing it with perfection. That is not the purpose of anti-defection law. Anti-defection law का ये उद्देश्य नहीं है. जो भी व्यक्ति who are elected on a ticket of a particular party, you want to leave that party, sometimes it becomes inevitable because of the leader's behavior, because of the deviation of the principles, or whatever it is. If you want to leave the party, you must resign and join the party of your choice. This way, the anti-defection law has to be revisited and discussed and then decide. But then the question arises, sir, if the leader becomes authoritarian, what is the way? The way is remove the leader by majority, if you have majority in that. This provision originally thought of was a good provision, 1/3. But we must now revisit that also and think seriously what can be the alternative. This is another thing for your consideration. My dear friends, we must remember the accountability factor. The accountability is lacking in many areas. The accountability of a government, the account of the public representatives is one of the key facets of our democratic system. We go to the people once in 5 years and take their approval. But by that time, a lot of time is consumed. Keeping that in mind, we must keep in touch with the people. Always. Always one must be either in parliament, either he must be in this house, or he must be in our constituency. If you want to become a successful MLA, MP, the simple thing is be either in our constituency, be in legislative body. Nothing else, because you are elected. And then coming to the overall interest of democracy, what I am saying is that we must all commit ourselves to the proper functioning of the system. No one should cross their limits, and legislators, members of assembly and council and all parliamentarians, they must all adhere to the rules and regulations of the parliament. Otherwise, we will become a laughing stock. What is happening in certain parts of the country, देश के अलग-अलग क्षेत्रों में जो हो रहा है, उसी को देख के, सुन के जनता निराश हो रही है. You must understand, people are getting disillusioned over the way some of the legislators are functioning, or legislatures are functioning. We must take note of the people's reaction and their disillusionment, and we must improve our functioning. For that, I suggest to political parties that political parties must evolve a code of conduct for their members. Going to the well, easily you can go to the well. Late Rajagopalachari said once, he said, if you are not well on the facts, go to the well of the house. If you are not well on the facts, then go to the well of the house. This is what he has said. An experienced person. What I am suggesting is, we must see to it that unruly scenes are avoided. Breaking the mics, tearing of the papers, tearing of other things in parliament or legislature, they are not good. Not only for the parliament and legislature, they are not good for the image of our party. And we call ourselves as a vibrant democracy. Vibrant democracy. Vibrancy in every sense. And what is the way of improving behavior of the parliament? Political parties also do have a responsibility because we are in a party system. We are bound by the party whip. So political parties, it's high time they must sit together, discuss among themselves and evolve a code of conduct for their representatives. This is an important thing. In this conference, I want to place before all of you, discuss it and then see to it that this is done at the earliest. And we must also remember that we are not enemies. We are only rivals. We should understand we are only rivals, we are not enemies. This has to be kept in mind by every political party and every politician and every legislator. We must respect each other. We may disagree, we may oppose his views, but and we get an opportunity, we can counter him effectively, not physically, through our arguments and democratically. This is another important thing. Otherwise, sometimes politics are going to such a level. In some states, politicians of this party do not talk to the other party. They don't even attend funerals also. They don't greet on birthday because of fear of the leader. That should not be there. After all, we are all elected by the people. We are all wedded to the welfare of the people. We are competing with each other with different ideologies. So keep that in mind and see to it that we treat our rivals with respect. And the language that is used in assembly and parliament must be dignified because legislator is an ideal for the students, for the youngsters, for the people. If MLA behaves like that, MP behaves like that, or a minister even behaves like that, what is the message you are giving to the people? This has to be kept in mind that you are a role model for others and you are setting bad examples. This is another thing I want to bring. My dear friends, as I told you that we are going to Amritkal period, what is our ultimate aim? We want to make India strong, stable, prosperous and progressive. सशक्त भारत बनाना चाहते हैं हम लोग, शक्तिशाली भारत बनाना चाहते हैं. We want to become a strong nation, stable nation, powerful nation. Powerful not to capture others. We don't believe in colonialism. We want to strengthen ourselves. Atma Nirbhara Bharat means self-respect and self-sufficient nation. For that we must all work hard. And we must see to it ultimately the goal is not only to create wealth. Wealth must reach all people. It should penetrate below. And then everybody should be happy. Whether the government is good or not, you can have a happiness index. Happiness, ultimate aim is happiness. This should be our ultimate aim, to make people happy. Not only comfortable, not only prosperous, but also happy thing. Happiness, for that adherence to law, adherence to rules, adherence to system, committing to the welfare of the downtrodden and poorer sections, taking everybody along with you, following democratic principles, respecting the constitution, that is the ultimate happiness. Peaceful, that also is important. Peace is the prerequisite for progress. If you have tension, you cannot pay attention and have retention. You will be doing only pretension. Remember this. So peace is the prerequisite for progress. tension should be avoided, peace should be restored, and that is possible if everyone is wedded to democratic principles. At the end of the day, people's verdict, that is final. If the verdict goes against you, you have to work for 5 years and then wait for your chance. My dear friends, I can tell you, when I joined a particular party, now I don't belong to any party, people laughed at me and told me, why this will never come up in politics. ये तो उत्तर भारतीय पार्टी है, ये ब्राह्मण बनिया पार्टी है, ये शाकाहारी पार्टी है, ये शहरी लोगों का पार्टी है, ये कभी सत्ता में आएगा ऐसा बताया मुझे लोगों ने. फिर भी मैंने मेरा विश्वास के साथ मैंने उसी पार्टी को मैंने चुना और उसी पार्टी में काम करते रहा. बचपन से लेकर सुदूर दक्षिण प्रांत से आकर मैंने बचपन से लेकर जो आइडियालॉजी मैंने सोचा अच्छा है उसी आइडियालॉजी के लिए काम किया. कभी ना इधर ना उधर देखा नहीं, कोई पार्टी बदलने का सोच कभी भी आया नहीं. बचपन में दीवार के ऊपर लिखते थे हम लोग, दीवार के ऊपर, और माइक अनाउंसमेंट करते थे, श्रीमान अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी हमारा शहर में आ रहे, शाम को आम सभा है, अब सब लोग पधारिए, इसको सफल बनाइए, ऐसा अनाउंस करते थे. मैं बचपन में ऐसा अनाउंस करने वाला लड़का अपना गांव में एक दिन उसी अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी और आडवाणी जी के बीच में बैठ के सत्तारूढ़ पार्टी का अध्यक्ष बने, ऐसे मैं कभी कल्पना भी किया नहीं. आई नेवर इमेजिन, never expect it to happen, but work, determined, commit to an ideology, follow it. That is the success of my own story. MLA, 2 times MLA, 4 times MP, central minister, this department, that department, many departments, and then Vice President of India. All these things came because of the commitment, because of the hard work, because of discipline, because of the dedication, because of not looking this side and that side, moving straight forward. Neither left nor right, but straight. That should be our approach. So my dear friends, I don't want to take much of your time. Once again, I request all of you, follow the Constitution, remember the democratic principles, attend the House regularly, allow it to function, have your say, and pay respect to others and hear what others are saying. And at the end of the day, we must all set good examples to become exemplary leaders in public life. Then only you are called as a leader. A leader must have discipline, dedication, and also determination. Then only he will be recognized as a leader. Leave your personal comforts, things of the people, and work for the people. Ultimately, you will become a people's leader. I wish you all the success. God bless you. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Nandri. Vanakkam. Jai Hind.